Hi. So I had shared in my other YouTube about a couple months ago, or 3, 4 months ago. I'm not sure of the timeline. I had shared that when my kids were inappropriately moved from my home, and I started exercising, and my brain started calculating numbers and letters. It still does that. Still does that. It doesn't affect my ability to communicate or to handle my responsibilities or to work a job or to do anything. It really doesn't affect any of that. It just, my brain calculates numbers and letters. And I mean, it's less now. It used to be, it's not as bad as it was before, but it's still happening. So there's that. And then there's, and right before I don't know, and also during that time, and part of the reason they said that my kids couldn't be there with me is because, I was writing stuff on my walls because I was writing a book, and I also felt like I was being followed and watched, and I also felt an overwhelming sense that everybody was trying to copy, like replicate my path, my natural path. Like, I don't know why I felt that, but it just felt like everyone was trying to replicate me and make babies like the way I made. And so during that time, I mentally accused people. I didn't accuse them in person, but I mentally accused them of sleeping with my exes because that was the only way they could try and replicate my my what is it called? I don't know. So for my part, that is the only thing I would apologize. I didn't really get mad at anybody, so I don't need to apologize to anyone, but that's the only thing that I would a mistake I made is assuming that everyone around me were having sex and racing to see who could replicate me. I'm obviously, and then I wrote, and then I was like, well, that can't be done. Like, it's not. So yeah, I that's the only thing that I did wrong, a mistake. And other than that, the reason I was so angry is because I'm a good mother and I raised my children on my own. There is nothing wrong with people going to get government's assistance and food stamps. I'm not rich, so I know all about that. But I raised my children on my own without the government. I'm a good mother. I handled my responsibilities. I wasn't the best employee and I wasn't a productive employee. Early on, I had lost passion, like my passion for my job. And the reason why I was there so long is because I really liked my boss. He was a very understanding and honest and good leader. And I also liked working from home. My kids came home to me every day. I raised my children working from home and raised my children. But anyway, so long story short, I'm a damn good mother and I know it. I took care of my kids all these years on my own. No family, no friends. There were a couple of times that I had asked for help from friends during transitions, like when I was in the move between like moves, like places that I moved to. And so there was just a couple of times, very few times, that I asked help from friends or family. But that's 1 or 2%. 98% on my own. When I was in a relationship, me and whoever is basically just my son's dad. We shared responsibilities. We were together. I'm 50-50 in relationships. So yeah, we shared responsibilities and all of that. But when we broke up, and I just on my own, raising my children, handling my shit on my own. So that's why I got so fucking angry that they were taken, and I went like no, bitch. So yeah. So I'm still working through the anger on that, but every day when I write in my gratitude journal, I remind myself that my kids are alive, they're safe. There's people who have lost their children who will never see their children again. And so I'm blessed to have them alive, well, and, so for that, I am grateful. But yeah, that wasn't good. And I am so not ready to face the one chick that I know was involved. I don't know who else was involved, but I know one chick for sure because they told me who it was. And best believe, if I saw her, I would lose it. I'd destroy all her teeth. That's why I haven't spoken to her. I haven't messaged her. I doubt that I'll ever be friends with her again, because that's not what friends do. That's not friendship. That's beyond. I felt a strong sensation, like hate coming from her, like she was hating on something, like for real. I don't know what she was hating on, but she'd be scared of me if she saw me. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's all I have. I was really angry that my kids weren't living with me, and definitely not valid reasons. And I mean, there's women, I don't want to down people, and I don't want to compare myself to other people, but there's people out there, with who are on drugs really bad, and they still have their children. But me working and taking care of my children without the government, I didn't go ask anyone to feed my children or take care of my children for me. I did that on my own. So that's why I was so freaking pissed off. Anyway, so those are the only things that I would say not wrong, but my anger, there's a reason for that. I don't get angry for no reason. So just working through the anger of that, because I don't want to walk around with anger and heaviness on my shoulders. I work on forgiveness. That's a really hard thing for me to work on when it comes to my kids and stuff, but I'm working through it. And also the mistake I made of assuming that everyone around me was trying to replicate me and replicate. And by the way, it was awesome when I started writing my story. By the way, I wrote 100% truth. There was no lie in anything I wrote. I wrote everything truthful, even the parts that I never told anyone. I wrote it, and I wrote it in truth. I mean, I didn't make everything public, but the big things and some stuff are still locked. But the big things, the big things I didn't lock. I opened publicly. So yeah. And whether people were trying to replicate me or not, I mean, it was my mistake for thinking that. But I wrote my story, and then I knew for sure that it wasn't unable.